right, hey, welcome back, everybody. This isn't going to come out for a couple days. By a couple days, I mean like, I don't know, 6 days, 5 days.
Yeah, when's the next one? Thursday?
This is Thursday's episode, so happy Thursday morning.
What's today? Today's Saturday?
Today is Saturday.
Dude, I was talking to you yesterday when I was like, oh, I'm working Saturday. I had no idea what day it
Dude,
was.
I did the exact same thing, because when I texted you and was like, hey, we're like trying to figure out if we wanted to record this weekend. I was like, oh, Sunday I got this thing, but like I'm free most of the day Saturday. And I was literally sitting right next to Amy, and I turned to her and I go, hey, are we doing anything on Saturday? And she stops. Like it was one of those like extra long pauses, like maybe like a 9-second pause. And she goes, you mean tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, I guess that would be tomorrow.
That is tomorrow.
She goes, yeah, you made it seem like it was so far away. And I was like, yeah, honestly, I did not know today was Friday.
And it's kind of crazy. It doesn't make any sense because I typically work Thursdays and I wasn't working yesterday.
Yeah.
So why would I think it was not Friday?
Yeah, I know. And I'm usually at the school on Thursdays, and I was not at the school yesterday, but I still thought it was Thursday. I thought yesterday was Thursday, like most of the day.
It's just funny how much of an idiot you can actually be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You give us the chance.
Yeah, it just doesn't take much.
Yeah. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're noticing something's a little different here. We're in the new studio, which I guess technically is also going to be semi-temporary. Would you call this semi-temporary or semi-permanent? I guess it depends on the half full, half empty argument.
Well, see, the funny thing is semi-temporary doesn't actually make any sense. Because
yes.
is it temporary or is it not?
Okay, well, that means this is definitely semi-temporary then. So this is our semi-temporary studio. Because we have this for probably, what is it? May? What's today? May?
Today, May.
We're in April, so once construction starts over here in like, June, July, we're gonna have to make some more fucking moves and decisions and figure out where we're going with everything. But until June, the end of June and July, this is where we're gonna be at. I guess potentially at that point we could just go full Zoom, but that's also going to be, construction's going to take like 3 months. I don't want to go full Zoom for 3 months.
Figure it out.
Yeah, that's a problem for June. It's like, when's construction going to start? Like June 29th? Yeah, we'll figure it out on like the 26th of June.
Probably.
Yeah. Maybe we'll use one of the rooms in your basement.
We might be able to. I think Michaela was talking. So now, in full disclosure, she's gonna hear this, which would be great. And I did own up to this right away. But we were sitting on the couch, and she was saying she wants to buy some new vanity something.
Yeah.
And points like over her head. So I didn't really like look at where she pointed. Mm-hmm. And she said vanity, so I'm thinking, oh, she pointed to the bathroom. Like the bathroom vanity, because
that is exactly where my brain would go.
The first floor bathroom, it's only a sink. Right. There's nothing underneath. Right. And I was actually looking at it over the weekend, and I'm like, oh man, there's like nowhere to like store toilet paper in that bathroom.
Right.
And it was low. So this was the whole thing. She had friends over who were in the guest bedroom. Mm-hmm. The guest bedroom closet, we've kind of like stored all the crap, like toilet paper and paper towels and tools and shit like that.
Right.
I'm like, oh fuck. This bathroom needs toilet paper.
Right.
But someone's sleeping down there.
It's quite the conundrum.
So I was actually thinking, I'm like, oh, it's kind of a bummer that there is no vanity with like a little cabinet.
For now.
Which, whatever. So she said vanity and points over her head. And then she said, then she was talking about like the basement. I'm like, what? I go, what are you talking about? She goes, why did you just bring up the base? She goes, why did you just bring up peeing? I go, are we not talking about the bathroom?
Because that's what you do in a bathroom.
She goes, no, I'm talking about a vanity for the bedroom.
Oh.
So she was talking about getting like a vanity desk thing.
Yeah.
Which would then leave the desk in the basement to me.
Ah.
And then there's space down there. I mean,
yeah,
if we need to.
Yeah, that's true.
There's the 2 walls, or we can
Yeah.
opposite side of the desk, fucking tag team it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you're watching on YouTube right now, it's a little janky of a setup right now, but it's also partially my fault because I broke the tripod when I was during the move. So you can't see this, but I have a filing cabinet with 2 boxes sitting on top of it, and then the camera is on top of that. So we're living high class right now. The new tripod should be in, probably as soon as we finish recording. UPS will come drop it off.
Most likely.
Yeah, most likely. But we'll have it. And then we can eventually just use the filing cabinet as like a in-between, like a table between us. Because, again, if you're watching right now, I said this before, it looks like we're kind of just having like a little fireside chat. We're just kind of like sitting. There's nothing between us. The desk is behind us, which obviously isn't ideal. But just for the construction of the room, it's how it's going to be. So, like I said, this is it. But it's really only going to be weird for you guys if you watch on YouTube. If you're listening, you guys have no clue what's going on right now.
But even then, if you were watching on YouTube for the ambiance, I mean,
Yeah.
may I recommend you take up something else?
Yeah, I would hope if you're gonna follow us on YouTube, you just kind of like turn it on like your laptop or your TV or whatever, and then just kind of like walk away.
Yeah, the actual setting has got to be indifferent to you.
Yeah. I don't know why anyone would want to stare at our dumbasses for an hour to an hour
Or
and
like,
a half.
I don't know
anyway.
why anyone would want to fucking stare at our fucking setup.
Yeah. That's another thing. You want to watch the YouTube and critique us? Go fuck yourself. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, and again, your critique, so you won't say anything worse than I'll say about myself.
Yeah, and you know how I know your opinions don't matter? You listen to this show. Nobody important listens to us. So yeah, that's this. I think that's it for your typical
Housekeeping?
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping. You want the fresh towel? How about I jerk you off? All right, I'm trying to see this. Everything is. I feel like Vinny, fucking moving this.
Fucking get it together, dude.
Mic stand.
Although I do feel luxurious in this chair now.
Yeah, these chairs are legit, right?
I mean, it's better than that old wooden thing.
Yeah, they're. I think they were like $5. Amy got them from her work.
That makes sense.
They're just trying to get rid of some shit.
I will say it was sad to destroy that chair.
Yeah, that was the only chair that survived.
Only chair that survived my first apartment in Bridgewater in 2012.
It was IKEA too.
It was IKEA.
I saw the tag when you turned
Yeah.
it over upside down. I was like, holy shit, an IKEA piece of furniture lasted 9 years.
And with that,
Not only just an IKEA furniture, a chair from
Yes.
IKEA.
Only-
something that gets heavy use.
yes, and something that was built by us.
Yep.
But I built that one, and it lasted. And it wasn't until a sawzall and my fucking foot
Yeah.
did it
come
break.
apart. Yeah, I got this. This thing is fucking delicious, by the way.
What are you drinking? Looks like a big glass of cum.
Well, yeah, it is.
But
there's a horse farm next
I
door.
was saying, but it looks like you added some cinnamon to it.
Yeah. So it goes down a little easier. So I went to the horse farm next door and just
Yeah.
jerked off a horse.
Yeah,
real
you do it
quick.
yourself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course I do it myself.
Yeah,
Like,
you just leave a quarter in the
think-
thing when you
yeah,
walk in.
Yeah, you think I'm gonna make someone else do that? I wanna, I want the full experience. And then
I
I,
was saying, it
I
tastes-
put a little cinnamon in the top so it goes down easy.
It tastes better when you jerk off your own horse.
You can taste the hard work.
So what is it actually?
It is. I call it a cinnamon toast crunch. I don't think it is exactly because you can go to a bar and order a cinnamon toast crunch.
Yeah.
But this in particular is whipped cream vodka, butterscotch schnapps, and almond milk. And then I put a touch of cinnamon on the top after I mixed it up. So it literally tastes like the milk from Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's pretty fucking delicious. So, and I was like, well, fuck it. It's Saturday. I think we're done. I already went food shopping. I don't have anything else to do today. So
Yeah.
it's like, fuck, why not? Let's get it going.
Well, Chris and Jamie kind of got after it at the gym.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
While you guys are moving shit?
Yeah. So So all we did at the gym, like, so I worked, and then we have rubber flooring, and the rubber flooring started to bubble. And like, not for nothing, it's whatever. So it's like, this is how things work. It's like, a couple drinks, whatever. He comes back with a 12-pack of Corona and a bottle of Captain. What the fuck are you two plan on doing?
Like a 750?
Yeah.
Or a pint?
No, a 750.
Awesome. That's great. No mixer too, I believe.
No, he got ginger
okay.
ale.
All right, because that would have been even awesome. I was going to say even awesomer.
Just like,
That's good English.
What do you? Why?
I mean, with
Like,
Chris and Jamie,
it's just the
there,
two of you.
Would you expect anything else?
I just thought it was a lot, even for them, because
Yeah.
it's early and they both need to be somewhere, or not really need to be somewhere, but they're both going somewhere.
Yeah, and Chris is a father
Yeah,
to a small child.
yeah.
I would imagine she's not old enough yet to be like in sports, because then
No, she's
typically
too young.
when you got kids and they do sports, you can kiss your fucking weekends goodbye for like 6 years. I would say probably between the ages of like 6 and 12
I think the hardest
before they can become like self-sufficient.
Yeah, I think the hardest time, because I always think about it in terms of golf, the hardest time for someone to be good at golf is when their kids are like 5 to 13 or so ish.
Because you have to provide transportation to the sports.
And you do after 13 as well, but there's also an expectation that you're going to be at every practice.
Right.
There's an
But then-
expectation that you're going to be at each thing, and
There's the thing too, once they get to high school, if they continue to play sports, the high school team provides the transportation. You know what I mean? Like, you take the bus to the game, or like practices behind the school, shit like that.
yeah.
So yeah, I would say probably between 6 and 13. Once you get
It's
a
like
kid
around then.
that plays sports between 6 and 13, like, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
As if you want like weekends to do anything, you can. What is that? 7 years?
Yeah, it's like a solid.
And never
8
mind if you
years.
have 2 kids or
Yeah.
more, or 3 or 4. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my God.
You just keep fucking keep kissing away your fucking weekends.
So bad. It's like it is so funny after some guys at the gym have their second kid.
Yeah.
They cannot wait to get snipped. Like, cannot. Like,
Yeah.
nothing makes them happier than talking about getting fucking snipped.
Yeah. I saw something, I think it was on Instagram. I don't know where it is. But it was like some guy was like having a party to celebrate his vasectomy. Like, of all of, like, I will support that, because it's much better than a stupid fucking gender reveal. Like, no one gives a shit about your baby that's not born yet and what gender it is. We'll find out when the baby's born. Especially too, because with babies, you have the baby shower, and then you have like the baby is born, and then you have the first birthday that doesn't. So you have potentially 3 parties within the first 12 months of having a child. Like, how much shit do you really want me to give you? So like, fuck your gender reveal party. But like, if someone wants to have a vasectomy party, I get behind that.
Well, it's funny because
it should technically only happen once.
Yeah. When in life are you going to celebrate that again? No, and I mean, I know we fucking crush gender reveals, obviously, fucking.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you want to use them just as an excuse to like drink with your buddies, fine.
Yeah.
But that's not what people use them for.
No.
Like, because Chris asked me, he goes, "Hey, I'm going to hit a golf ball and it's going to explode a color. You want to come?" He goes, "We're going to be drinking and fucking cooking." I was like, "I'm good." Because it was probably like a Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yeah.
But if he was like, "Hey," he goes, "Hey, it's a Saturday. We can play golf in the morning. Mm-hmm. You can crash there Saturday night."
Right.
And like, he goes, "I'll hit the stupid golf ball, but mostly you're going to be drinking a bunch of food. And hey, would you mind throwing some ribs on the smoker?" "Yeah, no problem, dude. I got you."
Yeah. Yep. I gotcha. No worries.
No problem.
Yeah.
That's not why people do gender reveals. It's like,
No.
oh my God, what's it going to be?
No, it is. It's like another party to get shit. Because every time you have a party for a baby or a child, like, you get gifts and shit. You know
I was talking about this last weekend. I'm like, because shit. I don't know. People like talking about fucking kids and whatnot. I'm like, you people are fucking fucked.
I said we're getting old.
Ugh. But
Everyone's like, "Oh, when are you gonna have kids?" Like,
I
I don't know.
so I was either at Chris's or I was home, and someone was talking about some type of children, or maybe I did this twice. I don't really know. Last weekend was a little bit of a blur. I drank a lot.
Yeah, fuck, dude. I mean, I thought Thursday was Friday. I thought yesterday. My days were.
Yeah,
all
I'm all
fucked.
fucked up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'm all fucked up. But they were talking about how like someone's having like their third kid, and
Yikes.
they're doing a baby shower for the third kid, and everyone's just like, "Yeah, we're not going."
Yeah, like
This was at Chris's house.
Well, it's like at this point, like use your hand-me-downs. You've had 2 opportunities to save things.
Yes.
For hand-me-downs.
Yes.
Like, I'll give you a pass for the second kid because, like, maybe you didn't want a second kid and you got a whoops, or like maybe you weren't like, after your first kid, you have it and then you give it to someone else who's having a kid. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes that shit happens, but like you're on your third kid. You've now had 2 opportunities to save something from your children. Like, fuck off. I'm not buying you a brand new crib.
Even if you went like two girls and a boy, and it's finally getting the boy. Ugh. It's like no babies were made that day. Like, even if you go from like 2 girls to a boy, dude, it's like your third kid. We're not doing a fucking baby shower.
Yeah.
You basically get 1.
Right.
2 is fucking getting egregious.
Right.
And 3 is just fucking selfish. No one's showing up. Really, no one's showing up.
Yeah.
And that was like the thing. They were fucking pissed. They're like, you do not fucking do this.
Yeah. A baby shower for the third kid.
Third kid.
Yeah, seriously, just use your leftover shit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's my 4th wedding. You want to come to it? No.
No, dude.
I'm not coming to your 4th wedding.
Yeah, I didn't go to the third one.
I thought the 3rd one was a little much.
Yeah. At this, like, that's true too, because at that point, like, why even do a wedding? Like, why go out
for the 4th time?
Why go out of your way to have a wedding? Like, why not just go to fucking City Hall and sign the piece of paper that probably cost $25?
Yeah, do you know how much money you could have fucking saved on weddings?
Yeah.
Yet you decided to have 4 of them?
Yeah. Right? That's like, depending on the wedding, you're looking at 6 figures. You're looking at well into 6 figures.
It's like college debt.
Yeah. If like the average wedding costs, I don't know, somewhere between like 20 and 50 grand. You do that 4 times. Jesus Christ.
Too much. Fuck out of here.
Yeah. That's stupid. All right. So we got some news here. This was great. I don't know. I don't remember if this is one that you sent to me or I sent to you, or we both ended up sending it on different medias. But thanks to our friends over at Breaking 911, we have confirmation from the Pentagon that UFOs are indeed real. Now, we already got that confirmation that they said, like, oh, yeah, no, definitely UFOs are real. However, this time we have video. We have a video that was stamped confirmed by the United States government that said, what you see in this video is indeed a UFO.
Now, you know what's funny about that, right? The day that came out, you know what everyone was talking about?
I don't know, probably racism.
No, the J&J vaccine.
Ah, yes.
We were talking about blood clots.
Yeah, there we go.
And I know we covered this on the last show, the blood clotting in our math.
Yeah.
But that was that week.
Yep.
Or like that was early that week where they kind of snuck out. Oh yeah, by the way, UFOs are real. Here's a video of it, like approved.
This is what they've been doing for the last.
Oh hey, but did you hear about the blood clots?
For the last year, this is what they've been doing. I have to say, as much shit as I give the United States government for being incompetent, their military, so the Pentagon itself, so the U.S. government as a whole sucks. They're idiots.
I would like to clarify that point.
The Pentagon, they clearly know what they're doing.
The government isn't incompetent. The politicians,
correct,
are incompetent.
Yes.
So the ones you
Hashtag
see,
all politicians are cunts.
Yes.
Did I send you that from Dan Holloway,
yeah.
the Drinking Bros?
Yeah.
They have T-shirts now. I want to buy one. It says if they have 2 of them.
Is it APAC or is it say?
No, it says all politicians are cunts, and then they have another one that says defund politicians.
I like that.
Yeah, I might buy both of them.
I like defund politicians.
I am definitely going to buy defund politicians. I'm on the fence about buying all politicians are cunts because I don't know where I would wear that.
What setting am I going to wear that in?
Yeah, I don't know. Go to a political rally. Just start showing up to like Charlie Baker.
Fucking gender reveal party.
Yeah, Charlie Baker rally.
I'm just like, yeah, it's not because the government actually whatever things that matter, the government actually gets done.
Right.
And like, again, you may think it's the worst thing ever here, but like, it's really not that bad.
No.
So the government actually gets things done, but individual politicians, they are completely incompetent.
Right.
And they say shit and they run their fucking mouths
Right.
and they rally
it's all grandstanding. Like, I don't know if you heard recently, Joe Biden came out and said that he was thinking about packing the courts, which shouldn't be a surprise to anybody because that's what they had said. I don't want to say they ran on it, but that they had mentioned it during the campaign that if elected, they were going to add more judges to the Supreme Court because Trump got to fucking elect 4. So they're all butthurt that the court is predominantly conservative, even though Brett Kavanaugh doesn't vote conservative most of the time. Or he's on record as voting as on the liberal, quote, liberal side of things.
Yeah. But don't we not like him because he's a drunk, right? Is he a drunk?
No, he was apparently he was I don't want to say the word that I was going to say because it's not true, and I don't want to keep propagating fake things. He was allegations of sexual misconduct.
Okay.
I almost used the R word, but he is not one of those.
Yeah.
But that's what people tried to say he was.
Gotcha. Well, I saw a picture of Ed Markey. He's on Pack the Court,
right? So, but this is the thing. So Joe Biden came out and said we're going to look into it. Ed Markey is all gung ho, let's go, let's do it. And then the leader of the Democratic Party, Nancy Pelosi, is like, you guys want to keep your fucking mouths shut? Because we ain't doing that. She literally, like, the person, like, who is, I don't know what her title is. Majority leader, Speaker of the House. Yeah. Speaker of the House. She is the top dog in the House part of Congress. And all the Democrats are like, yeah, we're going to do this because this is what we said we were going to do back in August and September and October. This is what we campaigned on. And you would think she'd be like, yeah, let's do it. She turns around and she goes, guys, shut the fuck up. We're not doing that. You need to stop. You just stop. We're not doing that. Because she was literally on record as saying she would not support it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, politicians just want the status quo, really. That's all it is. That's why Joe Biden was selected. I was going to say it's why he was elected. It wasn't why he was elected, but it was why he was selected to run.
Yes.
Because he is
status quo.
He is
change.
By definition, old guard. One of my favorite things of all the podcasts I listen to, everyone talks about it. They're like, this guy was in Congress for 47 years and he did nothing in 47 years besides pass the crime bill, which put a bunch of black people in jail.
Yep.
But this guy did nothing for 47 years. And now all of a sudden he's president and you think he's going to change and actually do stuff?
Nope.
He had 47 years to like take charge and do something and never did it.
And especially when you're young, that's when you figure they would try to do something.
And now that he's 78 with vascular dementia, like he ain't fucking doing shit.
Do shit.
He might not
Why
even.
Why would he? He's already president.
He might not even see his 80th birthday.
Well, they're gonna kill him. Remember?
Well, yeah.
The Ronus.
Yeah. So,
although he's probably vaccinated, so I guess that throws a real fucking fly in my ointment.
Well, yeah. Now, according to
he's probably vaccinated.
Well, according to some people, if you're vaccinated, that's not good enough. You still need to wear a mask and quarantine.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah,
they've been saying that. And actually, so this is actually the funny part.
Vaccination is not good. You can't leave your house just because you're vaccinated.
Well, yeah. But like this is where I'm at is people like, I can't wait for everyone to get their vaccine. We can move on. I go, well, if you get the vaccine, can't you still get the virus? Just not, it just won't kill you or hospitalize you? They're like, yeah, right. I go, then how the fuck are we ever gonna get past this?
Right.
I go, if you have all accepted that as true, and that is like, we're still got to be careful because if you're vaccinated, like,
yeah,
even if you're vaccinated, you can still spread the, it's like, dude, we're fucked.
Yeah.
We're absolutely fucked.
So, I don't have a watch. Today is April 17th.
That checks out.
It was announced that on April 19th, the vaccine would be available for the entire country. No more restrictions. on April 19th, anybody who lives in this country can sign up to get the vaccine.
Is it still 16 plus? Because someone was sure to tell me, because her sister's a fucking geneticist or whatever the fuck. So she was, or a virologist, or I don't fucking know.
Yeah, whatever.
Science nerd.
Yeah. Nerd.
They told me that's like, oh, it just got approved for ages like 12 to 15.
Yeah, we're running
is
a
it still
study.
16 plus?
Yeah, I don't know,
I don't know.
if they've lowered the age, but I did know they were running a couple studies on children getting it. I don't know what the conclusions have been, but
Probably nothing.
yeah, probably nothing. Because the more and more we've gone on with this, the more and more I've gone to your side, where I think the vaccine just does nothing at all.
Yeah. Actually, I would actually like to. So, in my just to clarify my stance, because I'm going to contradict that. When people say, well, you don't know what you're putting in your body, blah, blah, blah. It's like, first of all, one, I don't respect my body that much.
Right.
Two, it's more likely to do nothing than it is to do something harmful.
Correct.
That's my official stance.
Yep.
But either this is all a massive ruse, or at least what people are saying sort of tracks. Like if you had COVID, you get your first shot and you feel like shit, theoretically, that means it does what it's supposed to do.
Right. Right.
If you get your first shot, because your first shot, theoretically, you are vaccinated.
Yeah.
But the second shot just gives you a couple more percentage points, like makes it your immune system stronger.
Right.
Okay. I know it's not what we've really done before, but that's how dogs get a Lyme disease fucking shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they have booster.
mean,
That or the fucking vets were setting me up for fucking failure, where it was like, oh yeah. So your dog, he got his dog tetanus, but there's a booster for that, so we'll see you again in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like, oh well, he's due for Lyme, and Lyme's a 3-shot booster.
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, okay,
Yep.
more. It just,
Yep.
you know, when I stop counting, you just let me know when I hit the number you need.
I'm gonna start peeling 20s.
Yeah,
Hey,
you let me know when I hit the number.
say when.
Yeah.
It's like getting fucking grated cheese at a restaurant. Say when.
Yeah. So it's like I always felt like the vet was fucking with me. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, you need these 3 Lyme boosters at
Yeah,
fucking $50 a pop.
Yeah, well, it just came out too. The CEO of Pfizer was like, "Yeah, you're most likely going to need a booster after either 6 months or a year or something like that."
That's what ABC Chicago, dude. That was the other thing too. Is like, so I said that I go, listen, not confirmed here, but people are saying like there's rumors swirling that you're gonna need a booster in 6 months. No, that's not true, motherfucker. What the fuck do you know?
Yeah,
How do
exactly.
you know it's not true?
Yeah. Well, everyone's a virologist.
It's like ABC Chicago reported that. It's like,
Yeah.
take it up with them.
Yeah, everyone's a fucking specialist. Everyone knows more than you. You got to stay home in quarantine, even though you're vaccinated.
Yeah.
You can't leave your house just because you're vaccinated.
Yeah, and but that's why we can't move on, is because everyone's still clinging to the idea
Right.
that, well, the vaccine doesn't mean you can't get it. It just means it won't hospitalize you, which means it's still going to be swirling around. It's like,
Right.
okay, dude, then we're fucking fucked forever.
Right. So, this was my point before. So everyone is eligible on April 19th. So something like 100 million people have already been vaccinated, I think.
Okay.
It seems high. I could be making that number up because that's a third of the country, roughly.
I would not be surprised if that was about, because you're right. So
If only there was a way for me to find out.
In Massachusetts, I know we're approaching a third, but we also have one of the slowest rollouts, which, again, I've been saying the whole time. I mean, it's really too bad that we don't have like good hospitals, good educational systems, good institutions, good doctors. It's not like we have any of that stuff in Boston. Definitely not like MGH and Children's and, Beth Israel. You name it. It's not like any of the hospitals are any good here. They're all like Lawrence Memorial or fucking Malden.
Yeah.
So it's like
Malden Hospital.
Yeah, so you can see why our rollout is super slow.
Hey, that's where I was born.
Malden.
That's probably what's wrong with me.
So I was born at the one in Stoneham that was across the street from the pond.
Yeah, that's where I went when I had pneumonia when I was like 4 and I almost died.
Oh my God, that was an actual hospital? I thought it fucking closed the day I was born.
Yeah, no.
I actually didn't know if it was an accredited hospital when I was born.
Dr. Nick is over there.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. So we have in the United States, there have been 202 million doses of the vaccine distributed to people.
Okay.
81 million people are considered fully vaccinated.
Okay.
So 202 million people have gotten at least one shot.
Yeah.
So let's use the smaller number.
How many people live in the U.S.?
202 million.
No, how many people live in the U.S.?
Oh, 330 roughly.
Okay.
Plus,
Dude, that's a lot of people.
plus illegals.
So that means two-thirds have already gotten a dose?
Yeah. Well, there's been at least 202 million doses given.
Oh, okay.
I
So
don't know
that
what
doubles up.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, actually, no, it's easy. So it's...
So there's 81 million people are considered fully vaccinated.
So
it's just under 100 million.
So 81 times 2 is 162. 202 minus 40,000. There's 40,000 people in limbo.
Yeah.
I mean, 40 million.
40 million, yeah. So roughly 25% of the population is fully vaccinated.
Dude, that's
so
not bad.
81 million people. So here's my thing. Again, April 19th, everybody in the country is eligible.
Yeah.
We already have 25% of the people that are considered fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
I say, there's 40 million people in limbo waiting for their second shot, roughly then.
Yep.
So that would put us at 120 million people within the next month, theoretically.
Yeah, the next 3 weeks or so.
So 120 million is just over a third of the population. So I would say May, June, July, August. I'll give you 4 months. By the end of August, you need to come out and say, hey, everyone's been eligible for this thing for 4 months. Everyone that wanted to get it clearly, most likely, has probably gotten it already. Anyone that hasn't gotten it yet probably ain't going to get it. So this is the best we're going to do. And I'm saying it right now. I don't know what date this is going to come out, but we're recording on April 17th. So this is 18, 19, 20, I don't know, something like April 22nd when this episode drops. I'm saying it now.
Is that a payday? That might be a payday.
Yeah. April 22nd. You guys listening to this. By the end of August, whatever the numbers are at is what they're going to stay at. You want to give me like standard deviations and get into fucking statistics and all that shit. There will not be a statistical difference, a change that is statistically significant in the people that are fully vaccinated between the end of August and the end of the year.
Yeah, no, I mean, you might talk about like a couple percentage points here.
That's what I mean. It's not statistically significant.
But it won't be.
So by the end of August, everyone that wants to get the thing probably is already going to have had it.
Well, I did say I'm on strike till October.
And at that point, what the fuck else are we waiting for?
No, that's it. No.
Like if we're not completely back to normal by September, I'm going to be fucking rip shit.
Yeah, but we're not going to go back to normal. Remember that.
Well, this is the new normal.
So, do you see Buffalo? Mm-hmm. Did I tell you about this? I told you about this.
Yeah, you did.
They're talking about vaccine passports in stadiums.
Yeah.
So to go to a Bills game, you're going to need a vaccine passport. Vaccine passes are only good 6 months after your second dose.
Mm-hmm. So anybody that gets the vaccine tomorrow, gets their second shot tomorrow, you would then be considered fully vaccinated
2 weeks later.
2 weeks later. So you're looking at, let's call it June 1st. Anyone that's considered fully vaccinated by June 1st is going to be ineligible
for a vaccine pass in Buffalo, the county that Buffalo is in,
beginning November 1st. Right?
December 1st.
December 1st, sorry.
Yeah.
Math. I don't do math.
So then what?
Right.
And that's where that's where these boosters are going to come in. It's like,
right.
How long is the booster good for? And it's
so I really do believe that it's more of a dog and pony show here. All of these places like Buffalo that are coming out and saying they're going to require a vaccine passport, I think it's going to be repealed by the time it matters.
Charlie Baker also,
because it's going to be too much of a hassle for that. The reason we just said is going to be too much of a hassle. One. And two, on the other end of that, states have already started banning the idea of using vaccine passports. And I would imagine that eventually that is going to travel high enough to potentially the Supreme Court where they're going to have to make a ruling And if I were going to put my money, if I were a betting man, and mybookie.com say, using our promo code Sarcasm Pod to match your first deposit of 50% up to $1,000. If I was going to put that $500 on a side, I would put it on that the Supreme Court is going to rule against the use of vaccine passports.
So I read the press release for Massachusetts, because Charlie Baker said, "Nah, I don't see us using vaccine passports or vaccine passes."
Right.
One of the reasons is, again, minorities and poor people, which is the voting thing. It's all, so just so we're all clear, all you people that are outraged about fucking Georgia, you better be outraged about vaccine passports, because statistically, not my opinion, it's by statistics, and statistically,
facts,
which is not numbers. My opinion.
Right.
Minorities are not getting the vaccine at as high of a rate as majorities.
Correct. White people.
Statistically. Again, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
Now, there's a couple of reasons why. Those can only be theorized. Again.
Right. There's a lot of reasons
why.
What
I've read in that article, not my opinion. I'm just in that article. There's a little bit of cultural differences. There's a little bit of distrust with vaccines. There are things that you cannot overcome.
Right.
You're not going to convince them.
No. And I've actually dealt with this firsthand, because my company is predominantly minority. We have a lot of, Black, Latino,
and women.
I run the fucking wellness committee. So that's part of my job now, is I've dealt with that, and I've looked at numbers, and I know what the statistics are, and it is what it is. Minority populations are not getting this vaccine. So if you that's a great fucking point.
Yeah. So if you're outraged by Georgia's voting rules,
you need to
be outraged by vaccine passports.
Correct. Because
it's unfair to minorities.
The same idea.
So
yeah.
Again, I don't really give a fuck about the voting laws in Georgia. I will say, if Georgia's going to say you need to have an ID to vote, well, you better fucking give them out to them.
Right.
You have to, because it's a right. You have the right to vote.
Yes.
So if these states are going to go, I don't agree with vaccine passports. If a state's going to go with a vaccine passport, though, you better be just as outraged.
Yeah.
I better agree. Be just as outraged.
That's a great fucking point.
So, and that's what Charlie Baker said. He goes, obviously getting it out to people. He goes, there's also a big part of our population that they aren't getting it.
Right.
And to force them to get it would not good. Just not good. It would just fly in the face of everything that people are arguing for now. And
right.
And then you're going to tell it's like, oh, minorities, like, oh, well, if you want to get on a plane.
Yeah.
So I can't go back to my homeland, or I can't go back to visit my family in different parts of the country. I can't do this shit.
Right.
Because I don't want your fucking vaccine for whatever reason.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
If everyone who didn't want it was a stubborn fuck like me.
And me.
I would level with you.
Yeah.
But it ain't me and you that's fucking
no
driving the numbers here.
I mean, I had a candid conversation with someone at work who,
that must have gone well.
Opinions actually matter. And I asked straight up, and I go, do you think that it's going to be a requirement to get this thing? And this person said no. They said, no, I don't think we're allowed to do that.
Legally, I don't think you can.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a small enough company where you don't necessarily need to cater, like if you're a very small, very private, very niche business, you can get away with it.
Right.
You can.
Right.
If you're a bigger company,
no,
either through the state, contracted through the state,
I would
receiving state money.
I would say anything that receives or revolves around like state money or federal money,
or it like works with the public.
Yeah.
Anything that's not like, I could do it because I'm just a gym.
Right.
That's all I am.
Right. And you have one employee.
I have one employee, and he's already taken care of.
Yeah.
I could get away with it, but if you're a bigger company and you have a lot of people working for you, you can't get away with it.
No. So once I heard that, I was like, all right, cool. So I'm not getting it.
Yeah, and again, it's like so the way my official stance on the vaccine right now is I'm on strike.
Yeah, and again, I've said it this entire time.
If it becomes easier to get,
it's also not deadly.
no, I'm not.
Like if they created a vaccine for Ebola, I would be the first in line to get that fucking thing.
Well, I'm even so with me. I'm like, yeah,
Like-
I'm obviously not concerned about dying from it.
Like,
I'm really
again,
not. But
like I said too, like we've both said,
it's so
neither
fucking
of us
hard to get.
Neither of us are anti-vaxxers. I have my measles, mumps, rubella.
Yeah, I have a bunch.
I have my fucking whatever tetanus. Like I have all of the fucking vaccines.
I drank original Four Loko recipe. I've
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
burned pressure treated wood in a fire. Like,
Yeah.
I am not concerned about what goes into my body.
I've breathed in blue smoke. I've breathed in green smoke.
We've probably thrown batteries in a fire before. Like,
yeah, probably. I think we have. Like,
outside of the Will It Blend guy,
yeah.
I don't think we've made smoke with more dangerous materials.
Exactly. Like it's fine. Follow me on a weekend and see. Like I really like Monday through Friday I treat my body great, but Saturday
Monday through half of
relatively.
Friday.
Yeah, it's through the first half of Friday, and then Saturday Sunday not so much. But whatever. Fuck it. And it's like I'm not sitting here like, oh, no one should get vaccines. It's like, no.
but-
You should get a vaccine for a deadly disease.
People
This is
need
not-
to fucking back off.
This is
though.
not a deadly disease.
People need to start like figuring, and I think people will once they become vaccinated. Their opinions will kind of like because
Yeah.
they'll be less concerned about it.
You know what? You know what I think? I just thought of this. So you know what I think is a great comparison is the chickenpox. Chickenpox, I'm sure it kills some people, but I'm sure it's a very, very low rate. You can Google it.
Yep.
So, do I think that children so let's play the game here. If I had a child, would I give my child the chickenpox vaccine? Probably not, because the chickenpox.
You just let them get it.
Yeah, I remember we used to have chickenpox parties when I was a kid. I got the I forget exactly. I mean, I was probably like 5 or 6 years old at this point, if not younger, and I forget whether I got the chickenpox and then a bunch of kids from the neighborhood came over for a party so we could all get it, or like my cousin, because one of my cousins was there, or he got it first and my mom brought me there and there were other people there. I remember specifically being a part of a chickenpox party.
Yes.
For the
Everyone
children.
get in the tub.
Like everyone's hang out in the same room and like play with shit and make sure you share all the toys. Like if you want to lick the toys, like go right ahead. Like everyone was
go
like,
give your cousin a kiss.
yeah, like let's go. Like let's get this and get it over with. If that's how things are, that's not deadly. So why would this be a in your face? We need a chickenpox vaccine. And again, like I said, I'm sure people die from this. And
Oof, this is like
from what I've heard, adults die a lot more. So if you don't get it as a child and you get it as an adult, it's a lot worse, which is why people have chickenpox parties for children. But like, yeah, no, I probably wouldn't give my kid a chickenpox vaccine. Now, I would 1,000% give my kid a meningitis vaccine or measles, mumps, rubella, because those are bad and those can kill people at a lot higher of a rate. Meningitis is awful. Meningitis will probably more likely than not, meningitis will kill you. Same thing with Ebola, and it's like one of those things where we talked about this early on because I listened to an episode with an actual virologist on Joe Rogan.
I got the death rate of chickenpox if you're under the age of 14.
All right, so hold on, let me before I forget. My brain is dumb. So at the very beginning of this, I talked about I said this on the air. I remember this for a fact that there was a virologist on with Joe Rogan, and he said typically these diseases are either highly transmittable and not deadly, or highly deadly and not as transmittable. And this was back in like April and May when we thought it was both. And he said that, I remember saying this and I remember hearing it specifically. And this guy said, what makes this disease so crazy and why he believed that it was made in a lab was that it was highly transmittable and highly deadly. Well, fast
Fast
forward
forward,
to
it's
a
not
year,
deadly.
it is highly transmittable, but it is not that deadly. So
Right.
it checks out. It falls into line of every other thing in the world,
Yeah.
in nature, in existence. And you look at things like Ebola and HIV, very, very deadly, not very transmittable.
Right.
COVID, the common cold, the fucking all of this shit.
Flu.
The flu, highly, highly transmittable. Is it transmittable or transmissible? I don't know. One of them, transmissible, not very deadly. So it's one of those, and that's just where I was going. You can. Sorry.
No, I was just say I pulled the stat.
What do we got?
We got a problem.
What is it?
It is the same rate as getting a blood clot from the J&J vaccine. 0.000001%.
So 1/1,000,000th of a percent.
Maybe I did the math wrong. I did 1 divided by 100,000. 0.00, maybe it's 4 zeros.
So one child out of every 100,000
Yeah.
dies from chickenpox.
Yep, under the age of 14.
Yeah.
It goes up as you get older, but if you didn't get chickenpox or a vaccine by the time you're fucking 16, that's fucking on you.
Yeah. So maybe that's the other thing. Maybe if you haven't had the chickenpox by the time you're 16, then go get the vaccine. But like I said before, I still stand by the fact that I would not give my
4 zeros.
child
My bad.
4-0. Yeah. So 0.00001. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's 1/100,000.
Sorry. It's more likely that you will die of chickenpox than get blood clots from the vaccine.
Yes. But it's less likely that you will die from chickenpox than getting blood clots as a general population. I forget
No,
what that
it's not.
I forget
It's
what that
not.
number was.
I think it was like 0.027.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, I still wouldn't give my child the chickenpox vaccine.
No, you just give them chickenpox.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
But then, like I said, if you turn 16, 17, you still haven't gotten it, all right, cool, go get the chickenpox
Why?
vaccine.
That's my thing is like, why? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, maybe too many children around you got the vaccine. So you weren't exposed because you had herd immunity around you.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What an alternative.
Yeah. Well, herd immunity pre-2020.
Yeah, whatever.
Because herd immunity now in 2021, post-COVID world, 100% of people need to be vaccinated.
By the way, so I obviously self-proclaimed, I am the world's biggest prick at work. Because someone was like, oh, does anyone know what...
Wait, just at work?
Someone else was like, oh, do you know what like actual herd immunity is? I go, and I cut everybody off. I go, what year?
Yeah. Wait, what year are we talking about for a
And they look
definition?
at me funny. I go, because it used to be
Yeah, something like 75%.
75-80% of cases and vaccinations.
Correct.
Now it's just vaccinations. They don't care about the cases.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So...
And I thought I was a fucking clown.
Yeah. Honk honk. Well, you want to talk about being a fucking clown. Massachusetts is at it again. So I know you actually have something else that you could pile on to on this because I saw you tweeted about it the other day. Or yesterday maybe, on the Sarcasm Speaks thing.
It was probably on Friday, so that was like, what, 3 days ago?
Yeah, something like that. So this thing is different, but I don't know if you've heard about this. Massachusetts regulators are seeking to revoke Robinhood's license to provide stockbroker platform for residents in the state.
Did they say why?
Yep. So they called, they said something along the lines of, it encourages inexperienced investors to place risky trades without limits, while the online brokerage sued to invalidate a new rule underlying the case. Whatever. That was like the byline, the underneath. Yeah. So they're saying that Robinhood encourages inexperienced investors to place risky trades.
You know where that's coming from, right?
Oh, I was just going to say, what does that sound like to you?
Sounds like the big trading companies are pissed that Robinhood doesn't charge fees and
Yeah.
allows us to just do whatever.
Anyone want to take a guess? I don't know this off the top of my head. I could Google it. But anyone want to take a guess as to where some of these major financial institutions are headquartered?
Oh, it definitely couldn't be Boston because, again, we don't have good hospitals or financial or education systems.
Yeah, definitely.
There's
couldn't
definitely
be
not
Boston.
like a district
Yeah.
in Boston that's almost like just dedicated to financial,
Yeah. I don't know.
big financial companies.
Pick a company: Fidelity, Liberty Mutual. I don't know any.
I don't even know what like
New York,
Hancock, John Hancock.
Yeah, John Hancock. I was gonna say
Herbie
New
Hancock?
York Life, but New York Life is probably headquartered in New York
Most
City.
likely headquartered there.
Yeah. But I don't know. Find
What's
out.
Prudential?
I don't know.
I don't either.
So I don't know. What do you think? You think it would be plausible that some of these financial institutions that are headquartered in the state of Massachusetts would potentially push and lobby politicians to seek removal of Robinhood under the guise of encouraging inexperienced people to waste their money?
No, definitely not. The politicians are there to act for us. They're looking out for us.
Yeah.
And they don't want us to
Yeah.
lose our money.
I mean, I can tell you, I don't want to say I'm totally inexperienced, but I'm also not a professional investor. I've made a significant amount of money in the last 18 months.
I think I'm in rookie ball. That's where I would put it.
Yeah.
Because there's the major leagues.
Yeah, I'm probably somewhere around single A or double A.
There's triple A,
Yeah.
double, single A. I think I'm in one of the rookie leagues.
Yeah, I would definitely say I'm somewhere around single or double A
Because
as far as investing goes.
I'm fucking with my headphones and then they went out. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, no, I mean, again, I'm probably in rookie ball because, I'm good enough to make money.
Yeah.
Again, most of what I did, 75% of my shit on Robinhood is all ETFs anyway.
Right.
And I was saying that to a guy today because I was like, because someone had mentioned the Dogecoin.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you're a financial. I go, you do financial advisor and wealth management, right? He goes, yeah. And I'm like, interesting couple months, huh? He goes, it's been wild.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. He goes, it's been kind of crazy, Just hope some of these people know what they're doing.
You know what's fucking wild is I was in Dogecoin last year and I sold it. So I went back and I looked. I sold it and I think I made like, I don't know, not a short amount. I think I made like maybe $100, no more than like $150 on Dogecoin. But when I got out, I looked at my trade slip or whatever, the receipt, and I had like 2250 maybe shares of Dogecoin. So I did the math out to what it was the other day at like 40 cents or 50 cents, whatever the fuck it got to.
You got to $1.
I don't think so. I think that was a Twitter thing. People on Twitter was saying let's get it to $1. The highest it got, I think, was maybe like 42 cents. It was either 42 cents or 52 cents. Like I'm going to err on the lower. I think it was 42 cents was the highest it got. But I looked at it and I would have made like over $700 if I had still had it. So I got out. I mean, I still got out and on top. Like I said, I made like $100 on it. But if I had hung on to it, I would have made $700. But even at that point, it only was around 42 cents for like a little bit. And then it dropped back down in the 30 cents range.
Yeah, so I got it right now. Live is 27 cents.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where like people play the game and they're like,
this isn't updating.
Like I could sit there and like I said, play the game and be like, oh yeah, if I had sold at 42 cents, I would have made like $750. Well, it's like, yeah, but in order to sell at 42 cents, you had to have been looking at Robinhood or at your broker page at that exact moment of the day when it was 42 cents. It didn't stay there that long. If you were watching this thing all day and it was around 20 to 35 cents, and then you went to go take a piss, in the time it took you to walk to the bathroom and take a piss and walk back, it would hit 42 cents and was back down in the 30 cents range.
So 42 cents at 9 a.m. on the 16th. That was yesterday.
Yeah. Where was it by 9:30?
I can't be that precise, but by 10 a.m., it was at 37 cents.
Right.
And, it kind of hung around there till about 5 o'clock yesterday. Fast forward to today.
And the bottom drops out
25
cents. You know, so that's one of those things where everyone's like, oh yeah, it's the same thing as the Bitcoin. It's
everything.
They're like, oh yeah, man, if only I had bought Bitcoin back in 2007. It's like, yeah, no shit.
No one was buying it then.
Everybody would say that. Like, if only I had bought Bitcoin you know what I mean? Like, that's such a stupid statement.
Dumb thing.
But then people are like, oh, if only I had sold Dogecoin when it was at 42 cents. Yeah, it was at 42 cents for less than an hour.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, if you were someone that bought, say, 100,000 shares of Bitcoin, Dogecoin. Dogecoin. You bought 100,000 shares of Dogecoin.
When it was at like, 0.0004 back in like June of 2020.
Yeah, it was fractions of a penny.
Yes.
And if you bought 100,000 shares at a fraction of a penny, and you sat there and waited for it to get to 31, and then you sold it because you didn't think it was going to go, and then it got to 42, even then, who gives a fuck? Do you know how much money you just fucking made off that shit?
Exactly. And then, so...
That's the other thing. People don't buy... Like, you said you had what, 22 and a half shares?
2,250.
Shares?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's like... But still, that's like not even that many.
No. But I had bought it when it was less than a penny.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I bought it at a fraction of a penny.
Right. That's the thing. Like, these people that are going to, quote unquote, get rich off fucking Dogecoin.
Yeah.
You had to have bought.
Right.
Probably 1 million shares or so.
Well, there's the story of the one guy that became a millionaire because he invested his life savings in Dogecoin in like last summer, which really fucking stupid guy.
That's why we almost don't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or there's some kind of inside.
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing about it too is it's why these people, and it's why I kind of hammered Ethereum. So again, I said this before, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take my advice. I'm not giving you advice. But I put like $100 or so in Bitcoin a while ago, back in like December when it was around, I think it was less than 50,000 a share. It might've been around like between 40 and 45. And now it's up over 60,000. So I have made some money, but it's why I hit Ethereum a lot harder because I invested way more money in Ethereum because it was lower. When I invested, I think it was around $1,000, maybe like $1,100 a share, because you have to do the math out and think about it as statistical probability. So what is the probability that Bitcoin hits $100,000? Now, depending on who you listen to and what you read and what you're following, there's a lot of people that are confident that Bitcoin is going to hit $100,000 a share by the end of 2021. Okay, so let's say that they're right. Let's say that I invest $1,000 in Bitcoin right now. Or let's say I invested $1,000 in Bitcoin a couple weeks ago when it was at $50,000. If it gets to $100,000, I've only made 1,000. You know what I mean? So like Bitcoin's already too high to invest a lot of money in, because in order to double your money, it has to get to 100,000. But if you look at something like Ethereum, that now it's up over, it's at like 2,500 right now a share.
Yeah, I think it's like 23. But
when I had invested, it was at like 1,100. So you have to ask yourself, could Ethereum get to where Bitcoin is now, to 50,000? And that would be 50x your money. So in order to get 50x your money on Ethereum, it has to get to where Bitcoin is now, which is 50,000, which we already know a cryptocurrency can do that because Bitcoin's there. So if Bitcoin gets to $100,000 by the end of this year, like some people predict, you're only going to make
double,
2x your money. That's double your money. If Ethereum gets to where Bitcoin is now, and I'm not saying it's going to happen at the end of this year, but if Ethereum gets to 60,000 in 3 years, that's 30x your money.
Did you use the mile analogy when talking about some of this stuff?
No.
Because it's like one of those things where, and this is just reinforcing your point, just saying it a different way. If Bitcoin gets to $100,000, it's not unreasonable to see Ethereum get to 50.
Right.
Because right this second, it's hard to see Ethereum get to 50.
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. It's there's the
Oh, you mean the mile? I've used the mile time analogy before, where people said it's impossible.
Yeah.
So people think it's really impossible.
Right.
And all it takes is one person to do it, and then
Right.
that was for the longest time during the up until I think the 1970s, everyone said no human. It was impossible for a human to run less than a 4-minute mile, and then one guy did it, and within the next 8 months, 7 more people did it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's it. It's like if Bitcoin gets to 100, it's Ethereum's still only worth half of it.
Right. But this is why you have to choose the lower ones. And it's also kind of why I'm kicking myself a little bit about Dogecoin, but I'm also, now that it's back down to 27 cents, I'm thinking about getting back into it for I don't know, maybe $100 or something like that. Because, so let's play the game. Let's say by the end of this year, Bitcoin hits 100,000 a share. Ethereum gets to 15,000, and then Dogecoin gets to $7.
Yeah, that would be.
If you bought Dogecoin, if you bought 1,000 shares of Dogecoin at 27 cents, and it gets to $7, that is almost 30x your money. So it's better to invest in the ones that are lower. Because eventually, and it's also more cliches here, but a rising tide lifts all boats. So it's if all of crypto starts going up,
they're all going to go.
They're all going to go. So
yeah, Bitcoin's the leader.
Correct.
But it's very difficult.
It's what I mean is that you have to, if you're looking to get in, again, I am not a financial advisor. Do not take my advice. Whatever the fuck I have to say to cover myself legally. Don't listen to me. I'm a fucking moron. But if you were going to, hypothetically speaking, it's better to invest in the ones that are less than $1, fractions of a cent, because you have a greater chance of multiplying your money.
Yes. Plus, the other thing too is it's short investment.
Right.
If you only have $100, you really probably shouldn't be investing $100.
Right. And it's
if
one
you
of
invest
those,
100, every time you invest $100, you should be ready to lose it.
and you have to look at it from a long-term standpoint. All these people that want to pump and dump,
Yeah.
crypto, you're a fucking moron, because crypto right now in 2021 is over $60,000 a share. In 2008, when everyone was like, "Oh, if only I had bought Bitcoin," it was probably a couple bucks, maybe less than $1.
$10.
When was 2008? That was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
It took 13 years for Bitcoin to get from less than $1 to 60,000. If you think you're going to get in and pump and dump on fucking crypto,
Good fucking luck.
you're a fucking moron.
Yeah, you gotta say, one, good luck. Two, you're missing the point.
Right. You need to get in, and this is what I say, and this is again why I hit Ethereum a lot harder with more money, is because 13 years from now, where could Ethereum be?
Right.
13 years from now, Ethereum could be at $100,000.
Right.
And if I bought it at, let's say I put $100 in at $1,000 a share, and then 13 years from now, it's at $100,000 a share, I just made, 100x my money? So my $100 just became $100,000. I had to wait 13 years, but 10,000? Well, no, 1,000 to
Oh, was it 1,000 or 100?
no, 100.
$100.
$100. I put in $100 when it was worth $1,000 a share. That $1,000 a share is now worth $100,000 a share.
Yeah, well, 100 times 100 because your original investment's only $100.
Okay, yeah. So 10 grand. So I made 10 grand. I made 10 grand on $100.
Yeah.
I had to wait 13 years, but I wasn't doing anything with that $100 anyway.
No, and if you keep, and that's why you got to keep pounding it too. It's like you can't just put $100 and expect.
Right.
You can't put $100 and expect you to that's it.
Right.
If you put in $500 a year for 13 years.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
And 500 a year, I mean, it's really not that much.
$60 a month.
Yeah.
Less. Math, man.
40 and change.
Yeah. Probably $45 a month.
Less than that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. You can't be an idiot when it comes to this. And anyone that thinks it's a get rich quick thing is a fucking idiot. And if anyone tries to tell you like, oh, you got to get in now so you can sell it and all this and get rich quick, you'll be rich in like 6 months. It's like, no. Because then the other half of it, and this is what real financial people are going to tell you, is it's a bubble. Because the only reason why Bitcoin is worth $62,000 a share right now is because there's not a lot that's available. So it's supply and demand. The demand is high, the supply is low because a lot of people own Bitcoin. So the price goes up. So all these people that became multi-millionaires off of Bitcoin, let's say someone in 2008 bought a bunch of Bitcoin and now they're sitting on millions of dollars. Well, they still don't technically have those millions of dollars. It's still in Bitcoin. So what does that person do? They sell all of their shares of Bitcoin because they want their millions of dollars. Maybe they want to retire early. Maybe, they bought it when they were 27 and then they want to retire when they're fucking 40. So they sell every single share of Bitcoin and they have millions upon millions of dollars. Well, now that $60,000 a share just dropped down to 50 because that one person sold all of their Bitcoin. And now people start to panic. And they're like, oh, shit, I just lost a ton of money because I also own a lot of Bitcoin and the price just went down. And I want this money now. I mean, I'm not ready to retire on it, but like,
I don't want
to lose it. So then all of a sudden, the price of Bitcoin fucking tanks. And that's what all the real actual financial people are warning, is that's what's going to happen.
Right. So to counter that, play the long game.
Yeah.
And when things dip, you buy the dip.
Exactly. Because it will inevitably go back up. It's a wave. You ride the waves.
Yeah.
Just like Kunu. I stopped wearing a watch. Because my phone tells me the time.
Don't try to pop up. Yeah. Just do it.
All right, you want to wrap this up?
We can wrap this up.
What do you got?
I watched Zack Snyder's Justice League. All 4 hours of it.
Jesus Christ, in one sitting?
Yes. Snow day for me yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Finished work early.
Yep.
There was nowhere to golf because it fucking snowed in Massachusetts.
Yeah, we get snow in the fucking middle of April. That's sick.
So nowhere for me to golf yesterday. No work for me to do. So I figured I'd make some meatballs and watch it.
Yeah.
And, dude, it's fucking 4 hours long. Like it's 4 fucking hours.
Yeah, it's a long time. That's a massive commitment.
It doesn't need to fucking be 4 hours long.
No, that's like 5 pee breaks.
It's like, dude, it's too much. So, whatever. I did see Justice League, the regular one.
Yeah.
I think it creates a much more compelling story.
The director's cut?
Yep.
Yeah.
But it is a director's cut. It's not a finished movie. So it's like part one. It like does part one. It's a little slightly disorganized in a way.
Yeah.
Slightly. But I just figured that was because of the director dropping out. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the very end, I wasn't exactly sure how it fit. Like Batman has a vision, and I didn't understand how it fit the bigger picture. I don't know. I didn't.
The Vision? They stole it from Marvel?
Not that, but like a broad vision.
That's IP theft.
Yeah, and I could be missing something here because I'm a fucking idiot, but something didn't. I don't know. The Vision didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
But it sets the tone for it. Almost actually, you know what it does? It sets a tone for a universe. Now, the only problem I have is, and again, this is back to the comic book issue. It's not a DC movie issue. It's Thanos. It's
yeah.
So Steppenwolf, Steppenwolf is like, trying to get on the good graces of a bigger guy,
Right.
Ronan,
Right.
who's trying to collect the mother boxes, which when the mother boxes align,
Right.
Infinity Stones, then you get to destroy a world.
Yep. Yeah.
Thanos.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
but it does set the tone for an entire series going forward. The Snyder Cut does.
Right.
The first Justice League movie, fuck me. It was just like Steppenwolf shows up and the Justice League comes together and they kill Steppenwolf. Like that was it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This actually sets the stage for not only the Justice League, but also an actual universe of threat. Because I forget the guy's name. I don't know. It's really not that important. Darkseid. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I found myself at one point, because I saw Alfred and it wasn't the regular Alfred. It wasn't Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Some other guy.
Yeah.
I go, oh shit. In my head, I'm thinking, I go, is this the Alfred that turns on Batman? I'm like, why do I feel, I feel like he turns on him at one point. I'm like, he ends up actually like being bad and like double crossing him. And then I remembered in my head that was an episode of Archer, not Batman, when he's looking for the new fucking butler.
Oh yeah.
And he becomes buddy with this guy, and this guy's the best, and he's the best butler ever, but he was actually trying to double cross him because he was actually like a spy inserted.
Yep.
And I thought that from Archer was Alfred in the movie, because I'm like looking at it, I go, wait, fuck.
Yeah.
And the first thing I looked up, I go, does Alfred ever betray Batman? And he did once in the comic books, but like not really. I don't, whatever. It was like endless storylines. And I'm like, nope, that was from Archer. That was definitely from Archer.
Yeah. All right. Well, that checks out.
Yeah. I'm like, you are a fucking idiot. You really are an absolute moron. But yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, it was 4 hours. It's just a long time.
It is a long time.
Long time. Other than that, I got no. I mean, it's probably worth watching. If you're interested in it, you got 4 hours, it's probably worth watching, but like, don't make a day around it.
No.
It's for fucking nothing is 4 hours valuable.
No.
But like I'm unsure. I guess you could probably cut it up. Like what someone should do is like with the way I watch The Irishman, which someone put it out there like, hey, watch this far, and this far. Those are your 3 pieces. You could cut this into pieces.
Yeah.
Because there are some times where it's like, you know, they do, or like at one point, like Steppenwolf like gets the boxes, and then it's like it slows down a little bit to now they need to like regroup, reassemble. Like, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna pull this off? What's our plan? Like that could have been in another piece. I don't necessarily know like another series was needed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like if they wanted to do like a mini series, because if it's 4 hours, 4 1-hour episodes, I don't know.
Yeah.
That might not have worked. But
I did hear from a number of people that the Snyder Cut was much better.
it is much better.
Yeah.
But Justice League was shit. That was a terrible movie.
Weird when you have a director shoot a movie, he knew what he was doing, and then you get someone else to edit the movie and it turns out like shit.
Yeah, and I think it was mostly done when Snyder had to drop.
Yeah.
And then it was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
But
that's right in line with DC.
seriously,
DC is just,
I don't know how they keep fucking it up.
they're just so fucking bad.
But it also could have been a bad beat because Snyder had to drop, I think his daughter died or something.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why he had to drop.
Yeah.
And someone else had to come in and clean it up. And it's like,
Yeah, I think Warner Brothers didn't want to wait.
something, it was, I think, and again, so it's like through no fault of Snyder, but obviously it's like, dude, that's an expensive movie. Like, it's on a budget.
Yeah.
They tried to put it out there and they botched, like the guy botched it.
Right.
But not I don't think the first one was not a cohesive movie. Like, it really didn't make a lot of sense.
No.
And then it's like, you try to think, well, what was the plot? Like, was it really stopping Steppenwolf, or was it like Superman coming back, or was it assembling the team? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I never even saw it. I haven't seen either of them. I probably won't either. I've never really been a big DC guy outside of Batman.
Yeah, I mean, you're not missing anything on the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't know what storylines are gonna come from it.
Yeah. Like what's next type of thing.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like Suicide Squad 2?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird.
But
All right. My final thought is: have you seen or have you heard of This Is a Robbery on Netflix?
No.
Highly recommend it. So this even could be, I mean, I have no fucking clue if there are any people that are a little bit older that listen to this show. But if they are,
I know what you're talking about. Go on.
I highly recommend watching This Is a Robbery on Netflix. It is about the heist of the Isabella something Gardner Museum in Boston. It's in Fenway in Boston, and it happened in 1990. So obviously, like, I'm watching this whole thing, and clearly I don't remember any of it because I wasn't born. But I would imagine that anyone that actually lived through it would probably be pretty interested in seeing what happened. Overall, though, like quality, because again, I didn't live through it. It happened before I was born. But overall quality, I thought it was really good. And then also, too, we have a little extra bit of ties to it because it's in Boston, and that's where we are from. And it's funny because they talk about how there's mob ties, and you know they mention some things that happen that we actually know of. Like they bring up the fact, the one instance in Medford when they were able to record the initiation of, I think it was like the Cosa Nostra family. Remember that? Obviously this was before we were born too, but this was Medford is infamous for the FBI bugged a house of a prominent family, and they had a initiation ceremony in the basement, and they got the whole thing recorded. But they talked about that, and I was like, oh yeah, I know about that. They talk about all the bank robberies that happened in Medford, or in the area, Charlestown. They said Boston was the bank robbery capital of the country in the 80s. They go into all that stuff, and it's cool. Again, it's cool for us, and it was for me because it's more of like Boston history. And again, it talks about the mob ties that are potentially involved with the heist. So the whole thing is and there's no spoiler alerts here. This thing happened fucking 30 years ago. If you don't know about it, just watch the fucking Netflix documentary. There were 13 pieces of art that were stolen from the Isabella Gardner Museum. And to this day, 31 years later, they don't know where anything is. But they give you the path, and they tie it all in the fourth episode. And they have one guy in particular so everyone that was involved pretty much dies, whether it's old age or drugs or mafia shit. So there's one guy.
Did one guy get beaten? I'm sorry. There was one guy who was involved, like prominently, get fucking assassinated.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Oh, there was more than one.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we know someone who's friends with the daughter of one of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, it's funny. Like as we were watching this, like I obviously watched it with Amy, and I go, "Oh, I know that. That's this family." And I go, "Oh, I know that family. Like I've heard that name before." Like in one of them,
so actually,
they talk about the Angiulo family,
yeah.
And I go, I remember like my parents and my grandparents talking about like the Angiulos. That's just, and it's not, it's just a proximity thing. Like we grew up in Medford. Like I think they might have lived in Malden or Somerville, and it's just, you just know people in the area. So it's like, there's all these things that go on, and I go, oh yeah, I know about that. Like I knew about that. This happened. That's in Medford. Obviously I think it was the Cosa Nostra initiation in the basement in Medford, and I was like, yeah, I know about that. Like this whole thing, and it's pretty cool. It's like I said, it's cool because it's been around us. Obviously we're from Boston, so it's a 4-part miniseries. Each episode is like anywhere between like 40 and 50 minutes long, so they're all less than an hour. So in less time than it would take you to watch the Snyder Cut, you can watch This Is a Robbery on Netflix. Yeah, and I enjoyed it. Again, I thought it was pretty cool. But it focuses on this. The last episode has this one guy that's left, and they talk about how, they have everyone. They have reporters, they have former cops, they have former state police, they have all these FBI investigators that are now retired because it was 30 years ago. And they talk about this one guy that's been in prison, and his sentence keeps getting reduced over the years. And there's a whole bunch of shit that goes on. So the way it ends is they think that the FBI is kind of alluding to the fact that they kind of know what happened, but it's been so long that the paintings can't really be traced anywhere. And it's a really interesting story, and it's very compelling. But it was funny because we watched it, and the way it ends is like, yeah, we still don't know where the paintings are, but we know what happened. And then Amy was like, well, that was fucking stupid because there's no resolution. So like, if you're in these things for like a resolution, you want them to like catch the bad guy. Like, that doesn't always happen in real life. But it's a really interesting story. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fucking good. So highly recommend it. Again, This Is a Robbery on Netflix. Go check it out. Not a sponsor of the show, but fuck, Netflix could be if they wanted to. They probably wouldn't be.
Probably not.
They would listen to one episode. Like, they would listen to 15 minutes of one episode and be like, yeah, you guys are fucking dumb.
But what if they were to increase their expenses?
Yeah. Yeah.
But not increase revenue?
Yeah. Well,
What
it's
would
all
happen?
cyclical, so.
Fuck me.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, hopefully you enjoyed the new scenery, everything that's here. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and click subscribe. Leave us a comment. It was really funny. One of the previous episodes, it was we titled it "Did you call a 1-800 number?" And we got a lot of fake posts, like those random bots that post like, "Call this number, adults only," like that type of stuff. So I thought that was really funny. I replied to a couple of them, and one of them, I think I was like, "But I'm not an adult. Clearly you haven't listened to this show." Or like some stupid shit like that. I don't know. It was pretty good. But leave some comments. It helps the engagement, helps our visibility, and then more real people will watch the show and not just Russian bots. Subscribe wherever you're listening. If you're on the iTunes, or if you're on Apple, go to the iTunes store, leave us 5 stars, write a funny review. Again, it's all about engagement. The amount of subscribers and followers doesn't mean shit anymore. You can find us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. And our Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. So until next time, good night.